channel. If you have read the title, you know that we're going to be talking about some very unattractive symptoms that come with pregnancy. I've noticed, this is definitely a subject most people who have had children want to talk about. So I'm just gonna put it all out there for anybody who might want to know. A lot of this I didn't really expect. Some of it I sort of did, but now experiencing it, it all just feels really different for me. And if there's any men who have made it to this video, beware, but I hope you choose to stay and listen and not leave, because if at any point you're going to choose to have children, the mother of your children, these are some of the things you might have to go through, and be kind and be patient with her. Alright, so I made a list so that I wouldn't forget all the things that I wanted to talk about. Number one, lactating. So this one really caught me by surprise. I just really thought that this is something that came after the baby. You hear stories about people who try to get their milk to, for those of you that don't know what lactating is, it's pretty much when your breasts are ready and milk is coming out, your baby ready, your breasts are baby ready, I guess. So, I know that after the pregnancy, women would kind of struggle to get their milk flow going. This whole process of getting the milk to come, and then the breastfeeding, whatever. So for it to have come before pre-baby, I maybe sort of had an idea of that happening, but mine happened at 4.5 months, and I was like, whoa, not think that it happened that early pre-baby. So I was just kind of sitting there, and I noticed some wetness, and of course decided to check it out, and you squeeze a little, do a little this and that, just came right out, milk squirts right out of your freaking nipples. And of course I'm like, holy shit. And I get my husband to come and also inspect this wonderful thing that's going on, and he thinks it's kind of like, whoa, it's a little weird. Of course I'm sharing this with my girlfriends, and the first thing all my girlfriends are saying is, oh, well, did you taste it? What? No, I didn't taste it. I don't think that's normal, so no. But yeah, it happens. And here's the thing, I didn't know that it also just involuntarily did it at any point, the milk coming out. And me and my husband went to a yoga class, and all of a sudden in the middle of the class he turns around and he's like, you're lactating, you got a spot right there. I was like, oh, well, it is what it is now. So at this point I've pretty much outgrown the only 2 bras that I own, so it's all bralettes and sports bras. And with that is I've taken all the padding out of my sports bras, and none of my bralettes come with padding, so it's kind of made it really difficult that if for that moment, watching out for the moment where I might be lactating in front of people. I don't really want to put pads and things in there, but I think I'm getting to the point where I might need to, because the other day it just, leaky faucet, it just came right out. So to avoid that, especially if I'm around my parents or his parents, there are some precautions that I will have to take. Okay, so number 2, sensitive gums. I noticed this when I got into month 4. I was brushing my teeth, and my gums hurt really, really bad. And I had heard that in your second trimester, these are some of the symptoms that that I might come across. So when I was brushing my teeth, I noticed sensitive gums, and there was a little bit of bleeding, and actually last night I had one of my fillings come out, so I actually have to go to the dentist tomorrow to get my filling refilled. That was probably the scariest. I don't understand why that happens. I probably should read up on why that happens, but it was not a fun one. It definitely made like eating not enjoyable, and kind of painful, especially when I'm like brushing my teeth. Flossing too, just really having to get into those gums was like really sucky. Third one, breaking out. I know not everybody breaks out. I know most women glow. I don't feel like I'm glowing. They also say that if you're pregnant with a girl, which we are having a girl, so that's more proestrogen in my body. So my hormones are already kind of crazy, but the extra proestrogen can make some women break out. So I am kind of breaking out. I'm a little better now actually, and I think it's just because of like all the doTERRA oils I put on my face. But I don't know if you can see, I have like a pimple here that's been there for like a week and a half now, and it's not going away. It's just, it is what it is. The next one, so they said that you know, as my hormones are changing and you know my fluids will also change too, which actually reminds me I have to add this other one to my list, but your discharge will also change. I mean, I've had, you know, different discharge since ever since I first had my period. But the way that it changed right now, it's like there's a lot more of it, and it's a lot thicker, and like you just it's like your sex drive is kind of up there, but you feel so unattractive, you know, in that region down there, that you don't want to do any of that. So that's kind of where I'm at with that right now. Number 5, so I put down heat and weight. I thought that my starting weight pre-pregnancy was 125, but I was looking back at my chart and it was actually 129. So I have gained currently a total of 15 pounds, and I have a little chart that came with, like, you know, whatever your BMI is, and whatever week you're at, this is how much, you know, the top of the line of weight you should gain that's like healthy, that you need to gain to support the baby. So I'm like at the top of that, and it's the 15 pounds. So I mean, I have been, you know, bigger before. Like I've been like 135. I think I've even made it to like 140 before. Just, you know, college and adolescence. But like now, having been 129, or you know, between 125 to 130 for so long, being at 144, and we live in Louisiana. Like the other day, yesterday, and the day before that, we had 91-degree weather. I am sweating my balls off. Well, I don't have balls, but you know what I mean. Like swamp ass is pretty real. It just, I feel like I'm like lagging, I'm dragging, I don't want to leave the house, but I want to leave the house. Like, it's just going around, you know, with the heat and the weight. And honestly, like we went and we visited Georgia to see some of my family, and the weather there was much cooler than it is here. And even there, I like felt like I was like kind of dragging the weight. I mean, I'm just hotter than I usually am because I think of the weight. So that's something that I have to like get used to. And we're not even at like the peak of summer. I'm a little worried. But I might just have to spend a lot more time like in my house and in my car and at our coffee shop where there is AC, because I don't know how I'm gonna get through it. Next one, sore back. I think this comes from not being able to sleep on my back. I do find that I have been sleeping on my back here and there. Like I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'm on my back, and it's, I mean, because I'm just sleeping on my left or my right side. Like it's getting to me. Like my shoulders are just killing me, my neck is killing me, and then having all the weight here just like makes my lower back feel weaker and weaker. And I feel like, you know, there was a time in my life where I went to the gym all the time, and one of the things that was always weakest was my lower back, and I worked so hard to have a stronger lower back to kind of make everything else, you know, stronger. So it's kind of hard. Like having the weakened lower back and doing things. It's like a whole new ball game, you know, and it's not gonna last much longer, but it's definitely gonna keep getting, you know, harder and harder and harder before the pregnancy. Heartburn, this is something that I kind of talked about before. I got heartburn pretty early in the game, and what's actually better now is that my nausea is much better, but I still have heartburn, and from the looks of it, it's kind of probably just going to stay that I will have the heartburn, and I feel like it's kind of like progressing. Everything and anything I eat kind of gives me heartburn, but it's a symptom I've had for so long now that I'm a little bit, happened right now actually. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I've had it for so long that I'm kind of like a little used to it, and I know, like, when you're craving a glass of hot milk, don't do it. And just, you know, have your crackers and your lemon water ready to go. So yeah, lack of sleep. This kind of goes with not being able to sleep the way that I would like to sleep. I'm tossing and turning. I have a super active baby in my belly. I know some people can feel all the kicks and moves and turns, and some people go through their pregnancy not really feeling a lot of movement. I got a warrior in there. Like, she is kicking for life. We actually had an ultrasound the last time we went to our OB, which was like April 26th, and it was really cool because, I mean, I had already been feeling her move, and she's actually moving right now a lot. She was like crouched in what looked like a squat position, and then all of a sudden she jumps, and I'm saying, like, the knees or legs are like completely like from crouch position to straight, and her arms are like kicking or pushing up, and then she's got her legs like all the way up to her face, and she's like playing with her toes, and then like every now and then she's like bam bladder, bam stomach. It's like she does that at night too, so I'll constantly be going from like turning to the left, turning to the right, and I'm already like a light sleeper, and our cats move around and make a lot of noise in the night, so waking up constantly, it's really hard for me to get into like REM sleep, or I'll be in the middle of REM sleep and I'll be, you know, woken up, and that just kind of like makes me feel really groggy in the mornings. Not enjoying that part. I think I would have, if there was one symptom that I wish I didn't have, it was that, because sleep does me so well. Like, when I don't get enough sleep, I just have a really hard time mentally getting through my day. So I've noticed that I have to take more naps now more than ever, and that's also something that I'm like fighting mentally, because I've never been a napper. I always am thinking, you know, what's the most I can get done in a day? You know, I'll have my list, and I'll have to get through my list in a day, and having, you know, my energy spent, and, you know, not sleeping and not feeling my best in the morning, and then feeling like I'm not getting the most out of my day because I'm doing so much sleeping midday to catch up for the lack of sleep I had the night before. Can really beat you down. Next one. So I think I'm lucky in this sense because of how I eat. I eat very like fibrous meals, and I eat pretty regularly, but hemorrhoids I know is like a real thing, and like I said, I've been lucky in that sense, but I know like some people's horror stories of like really bad hemorrhoids. So if you're a man watching and your lady's going through that, like, I don't even know how you comfort that, because I mean, like, previously, you know, I know what they feel like. I have had them, so it's just like, I can't imagine what that would be like now that I'm bigger and slower, and all the other fluids going around. So yeah, I mean, like, eat fibrous foods. That'll probably be your best bet. Um, Speaking of fluids, saliva. So they said that this would happen. I was kind of laughing when I read this as a symptom. Saliva, like excessive saliva in your mouth. Oh man, when I say like mid-conversation, I'm just like slurping my saliva away, or I have to constantly watch when I'm talking to like our customers that come in to our coffee shop to not spit on them when I talk, because it's real and I like to talk and I talk kind of fast sometimes, so it just it's crazy. Like that's another thing I think I want to read up on, is why the excessive saliva, like where does that come from? What chemically changes in my body that makes all this freaking saliva come out of my mouth? Itchy skin, pretty natural to have itchy skin. My belly, it's usually around my belly, but I've noticed like it's also in my calves, and it may just be that my calves are getting bigger, but the reason why I'm getting the itchy skin is because my belly is growing, especially from now till the time I give birth. She's gonna be she will, not me, I mean I will be gaining weight too, but she will gain half a pound every week, so shit's about to get real. And the itchy skin is because like my skin is just like stretching and stretching and stretching. I've also been fortunate that so far I don't have any stretch marks, thank goodness, but that I feel like that could change at any moment because of how fast she's about to grow. But the best thing you can do when you have like the itchiness, don't scratch, because like your skin is like just thinner and more sensitive, and you know that like abrasion coming from scratching can actually, like, that can also be another way you can give yourself stretch marks. So just lather up instead. I mean, the minute I apply any type of like oils or butters, you know, on my belly, I'm fine. You know, the itching completely goes away. So but when it's there, oh, it's like you really want to scratch it. Frequent peeing, yeah, I knew this was gonna happen, and it's probably just gonna get worse. I mean, like the other day we were at the pool, and you know, I don't want to get out of the pool, but within the 2 hours of me being in the pool, I got up like 4 times to pee, and I was wearing a one whole body suit, bathing suit. Nobody wants to take that whole thing off and pee like every 30 minutes. It's serious. And then because also she is so active, I have the excessive saliva in my mouth now. Because she is so active, oh my gosh. So so this is kind of gonna go on to the next thing too, peeing on yourself, but she'll kick my bladder, she'll punch, I don't know what she's doing, but she'll just bam. And if I didn't have to pee then, I definitely have to pee now. So it's like, all right, we gotta go, we gotta pull over, or I gotta find a bathroom like right now. Like I feel like from the point of her kicking my bladder, I have about like 10 minutes before I find a bathroom. Now, if I have a full bladder and she kicks me, it's like, oh, did I pee on myself? Or if I have a full bladder and I sneeze, yeah, I pee on myself a little bit. It's so good, like so great. I can't tell you. That's only happened 2 times. Because I now know that if I have to go, I gotta go now. There's no holding it in, ever. And that really just happened like when the frequent peeing like got serious. That's when the first 2 happened. So like I learned my lesson pretty quickly. But that's some serious stuff. And so I actually that is something that I actually did read up on, that if you like your Kegels, strengthening your looking for a better word for this, but your vag muscles, that is something that you can improve actually, just by strengthening the crap, what is it? There's a lining in there, and as the baby's growing and getting ready for labor and all that, I know that that lining drops and gets thinner, like it gets stretched, and that's what makes people pee on themselves. I'm trying to like visualize all this so I can explain it good, but you should read up on it. So I do know that if you do like Kegels or some like vag muscle tightening exercises, that can get better, and it's actually something you might want to do because I know that like in the first baby, if you don't do that, then from then on it might never fix itself. You know what, don't quote me on that, it was a while ago that I read this, but yeah, so that's it. That is my list of the most unattractive things, symptoms that have been brought on to me by entering my second trimester. I'm actually at 22 weeks now, so I'm 2 weeks away from my third trimester, and I'm so excited. I know this wasn't on my list, but I should mention it. Yeah, you do want to cry a lot. Like, I know that I am a crier. Like, I'll cry when I'm watching movies, and you know, if I hear somebody's like sad story, I feel like I'm very like I have a lot of empathy. You know, I feel like I can feel other people's pain a lot, or you know, it doesn't have to be a negative thing. I can also feel other people's joy too, as if it's my joy that I'm feeling myself, or you know, their pain or their sadness. So if I'm thinking about, you know, how close we are to having this baby, I get like super emotional, and I just want to kind of cry, and it's a happy cry. Or you know, somebody's sharing something sad with me, like I'll just get super teary-eyed in front of strangers. And I mean, to me that's not really embarrassing, just because I know I am a crier naturally in life. But some of the nasty side effects of these like emotions is that you can get irritated really quickly, and you can get angry quickly, and things can annoy you when they didn't annoy you pre-pregnancy. So for those of you who might be pregnant, or when you are pregnant and you might experience these emotions, or even before you experience them, just know that they're going to come. And when they come, if you have an active partner in your life, also be kind to them. They don't know what you're going through, and you can be as verbal, you know, and open about it as you want, but at the end of the day, it's really hard for them to understand just exactly what you're going through. And if you're somebody like me who, well, I do share everything, I'm not constantly complaining day in and day out, so on the outside I look like I'm feeling great, where not like in reality I'm fighting back the heartburn, and I'm achy, and I'm getting irritated by things, and I know that they're not things that I need to be getting irritated about or stressed out about, but like the lack of sleep plus the hormones, like they just don't mesh well. And so I have to constantly practice self-awareness and know that like my partner is active and loving and like here to help me, and I need to be kind, and I need to give like them the benefit of the doubt that they will never completely understand what I'm going through. And don't push them out, you know, don't push them away, invite them into this journey. So anyway, yeah, that's it. I'm sure I'll have new symptoms, or maybe just symptoms that are going to get harder or worse into the third trimester, but I'm looking to do another update just on how the pregnancy goes in the third trimester, and in between, you know, I'll post other videos. Like my next one is going to be my cauliflower pizza recipe that is so scrum delicious. And I hope you guys watch it like you watched this one. And please, if you like this, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. So, Momaste.